Join us for a review of the all-new Hyundai i20. Let's go! In the front, this new generation of the i20 shows a wider front grille, also here in the high gloss paint. It's a high trim model, also with a lower contrasting bumper then. Here you can see special about this new generation is also that the grille leads over in one design unit with the headlamps, and optionally, or in the high trims, you can also get it with full LED as you see it right here, and also a very sporty daytime running light. The car is a little bit flatter and wider, so this also again stresses this sportier stance. So it's a small segment vehicle, but already looks quite massive from the front, doesn't it? 4 meters 04, 13 foot 3 or 159 inches is the length of the Hyundai i20. Hasn't changed that much in this new generation here. A little bit longer as for the wheelbase to give you a little bit more legroom in the rear area on the inside. It would start with 15-inch steel wheels, then 16-inch aluminum, and these are the optional 17-inch aluminum. 48-volt board net sign here at the side because this is a mild hybrid engine. Soon more also to the engines, and really aerodynamic form here for the side mirrors. Then today we also have a contrasting roof in black right here. This also stresses the design, chrome in the lower part. The main design is here above the door handle, splitting light and shadow. And again, a very fresh design here and definitely looks sportier than the outgoing model. And we also find a very modern and sporty look here at the rear. The light signature also, pretty strong. And then there's a nice trick. There's a reflector right here, and it looks like there would be a light strip going through the vehicle, but depending, on light and shadow and so on. So when you look from here, then you see there's no light. But when you look from distance, sometimes, depending on the sunlight and so on, it really looks like it would also be a light. But overall, then really looks cool from the rear here. So again, I think I'm quite impressed already from this look of the small car segment vehicle here. Diffuser style in the lower part, again with the contrast. Overall, I think good rating from us. What about you? The entry-level engine, a 1.2 liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine, petrol, 84 horsepower. But this one here is the 1 liter turbo 3-cylinder, either with 100 or 120 horsepower. Then the 100 horsepower version, optional MHEV. This one here, the 120 horsepower version, always comes with the mild hybrid system. And optional, you can also get the 7-speed dual clutch transmission as an alternative to the manual drive. Now to the trunk area. We have a luggage setup for you, so you can very well imagine what does fit in there and what not. Yeah, backpack a little bit squeezed right here. And let's also unload that. You can see how it looks like empty. Like this and like this. Whoa! So, and here is also like this practical net you can get. And then you can put this here up, and this is actually when you have the 48-volt board net here with the mild hybrid system. Then this is here the battery, lithium-ion, also the big one for the mild hybrid buffer. So otherwise, if you don't go for the mild hybrid system, you could also fit a replacement tire in here. This is the car key, close and open, feels good quality. You can also use the button here for the keyless entry if you have that option. Mirrors also fold in and out automatically. Door closing sound. Yeah, very solid, like that. Inside of the doors is hard pack however, but in this segment also nothing special. they use a lot of different stylings and materials. A little bit of leather red here, then some design elements. The door handles make a good impression. Window levers here to switch then around for the side mirrors. Door pockets also big enough. Optional Bose sound system. And also interesting that we have a bright styling then here on the lower part. Then the new interior, really all new. Everything has changed basically. Heated steering wheel is an option. That's pretty cool. Hardback also on the top dashboard, but there's an interesting structure, so it also gives you a good quality feeling nevertheless. Steering wheel here with this open spokes looks like from the Audi A8, doesn't it? Like from the styling, of course, not like in the whole finish and so on. Left side here to pick up the phone and also to control the volume. Right side here to control the digital instruments and also the cruise control. And then the seats. Black fabric seats is basically the thing for this vehicle. That's of course good because it's breathable in summer and also keeps you warm in winter. It's already a little bit sporty right here. In the N line they would have these red contrast stitches to make an even sporty look. So the N line also a little bit different as for the interior. But this one already looks quite cool and sporty. And let's get inside to test it. Again, small car segment, and I'm 1.86 m or 6'1". And this still gives me plenty of headroom, no problem as for that. And it's actually a good seating position. It keeps me tight here with these bolstering. So already quite sporty seats here for these normal seats. And you also have decent comfort. Of course, you feel that you are not in a big vehicle, but you can move around quite freely. And overall, I can just give it a very good rating. Here the this is here the menu control for the back part. This is then here the pumping up your control, and is how you control everything. It feels quite smooth, so also good quality impression as for that. Steering wheel can be put in and out quite wide and also up and down, so you can really find a decent position here. Yeah, that's easy. I like this with two hands. So really decent position here also for taller drivers. Interior overview. Again, what could be criticized is that they have a lot of different materials and stylings. Here then is really cool structure on the top part. Then this horizontal structure right here. Then again a slick surface. Then the white one. So it's not a really calm atmosphere as for the materials, but the quality is actually quite good. And the overall styling looks quite fresh and modern. You can see here this is the top screen setup. It would start with analog instruments and just a small digital display in the middle, option and 10.25 inch. On the right side, either a very base radio, then an 8-inch screen, and this is the top 10.25 inch screen. So this top setup here then is 2 times 10.25 inch. You can see here the Apple CarPlay integration, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for both infotainment systems available. Here it comes automatically. Soon more deals to that screen. You can see here these are capacitive buttons in the lower part, for example, to switch the maps. So nothing you really press in there, but it reacts quite well actually. But again, soon more deals to that screen. Here a manual volume knob still. Steering wheel again has a good compact size, and also the buttons here on the steering wheel are very, very good as for the quality. What I really like is that here in the lower part we have still a manual climate control. It's easy to control and straightforward to see everything. So no capacitive bollocks in the lower part. Now the infotainment system up close here with the Apple CarPlay view. So the navigation not all over the screen, but here in this area. And sound system test. It's the Bose sound system here, the optional one. And yeah, really like that sound. So again, in the small car segment, really, really decent as for the sound. Of course, this is a really good song. You should listen to it. So then the normal Hyundai menu looks like this. This is like a main menu. You can also put to this one here. So, and then you have the hotkeys on the lower area, but also can click inside here. This is also another climate visualization here, for example. So when I put the climate unit on, but that is not really necessary. So usually you just look at what's happening in the lower area. That's the home menu again. Map hotkeys like this. The Hyundai and Kia sat navs, they are maybe not the best ones, but here it does the job. You can see pinch and zoom also works. Could be a little bit more responsive, but overall I think quite okay. You can also assign this hotkey here, for example, to the Apple CarPlay would be the most useful thing to do, I think. Setup here, you can go to this and then, for example, also change the sound settings and so on. So overall, I think very well usable what they've done here. The smaller 8-inch screen, however, I think will also do the job if you don't want to spend the extra money for the bigger one. Then the digital instruments, also very nice for the view and straightforward to use. The drive modes, change it here, for example, the like this comfort drive mode, here the sport drive mode, sporty gauges, or also the eco drive mode. So I think interesting visualizations they found here. And then in the middle part, you can switch the speed, for example. You can see the energy flow, especially important or interesting to see when you have the mild hybrid system. But you can also switch it to a GPS view. Then you would also see some arrows or lines where you want to go and so on, and the assistance systems view. So yeah, again, straightforward, nice to see. It's a good addition, definitely. If you want to save some money, you would stick with the base analog instruments, depending also on the trim level. Let's check out the rear compartment. Pretty slim, these doors here. Interesting, there's also an option for a heated seat here in the rear, 2 level. That's, for a small car, wow. Pretty nice that you have these options. Then the same design here as for the rear, also with these white contrast stitches then here, which would be the red contrast stitches in the N line. And everything easy and solid. Let's see, since you have a little bit longer wheelbase, you also have a little bit more room in the rear for your legs in this new generation. And you see here, you can easily drive this car with 4 tall adults. So the package is actually quite good. Welcome to Thomas's Driving Lounge with the new Hyundai i20 small car segment, and we have the 120 horsepower engine here, 1 liter turbo, 3-cylinder. It's the top engine so far for the normal version. It will also be the i20N, then with more horsepower later. Well, and the thing is here, 120 kilometers an hour, and it's actually reasonably silent in here. So on the German motorway here today, that's also why we begin with that, because we have the possibility to do some more testing right here. And when we just have it like cruise control set and just like one of the minimum consumption, 120 kilometers is also like not the lowest consumption, but the realistic one. 5.5 liters on 100 kilometers, and that's about 40 mpg US and about 50 mpg UK. So yeah, I think quite reasonable, that's okay. Blind spot monitor here, also when cars are approaching from the side. The autonomous emergency brake is standard. Blind spot monitor and more assistance systems. There's like an extended assistance systems package also. I also have the adaptive cruise control activated at the moment, keeping the distance to a car in front of us. Also the lane keeping assist is not really intrusive, so really good, very calm, keeping the car in the center of the lane and so on. So I'm really happy with that. So I'll switch in the middle part. Either we can now, at the moment, reducing speed, and we see energy flow, because here we also have the MHEV system, the mild hybrid system, so some energy is gained back to the battery. That's helping like with coasting or sailing function, or also, assisting electric systems in the car and also helping a little bit of the drive. So it's not a real like full hybrid, but as I said, mild hybrid, so we have some electric support then to save some fuel. But we can also put it then here to the digital speedometer. And we can also show you some of the acceleration. 7-speed dual clutch transmission we have in here with the interesting shifting lever. And there's also different drive mode selections right here. So if I'm in the comfort mode, also the gauges change here. And then there's the sport mode, and we get these racy sporty gauges. And then the throttle input is being increased. So we have a little bit more response and so on. And then there's the eco driving mode for less throttle input and more eco driving. So I really think it's very interesting that it changes here according to that. And then we can also show you some acceleration when we are already at speed. So what does this small engine but with the turbo still deliver us when we start at 100 kilometers or 60 miles an hour and accelerate? That's 130 kilometers an hour, 80 miles an hour. You see, with the turbo, we still have some acceleration, but if I would have a moment now, like where I really need to get to the other lane in a fast way, that would not really work. But I mean, it's a small car segment, and the power for that is enough. But it also shows you that this, when you drive motorway, this 1 liter turbo 3-cylinder is the suitable choice. Then the entry-level engine, this naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine, would not be sufficient for motorway drives. If you just primarily drive this car in the city, it's no problem. But I really think as soon as you go to the motorway, then you should get the turbo engine. And now to our conclusion for today with the all-new Hyundai i20. From the exterior, definitely a fresh and a sporty styling, and it looks actually bigger and, with a sportier stance that you would actually expect in this segment. And I think that's actually quite nice. Interior with a clear overview in the interior, also good build quality. Yeah, of course, there's also a lot of hard plastics, but again, you also have to keep the price low. But overall, every solid things from the looks and also easy to control. It's a straightforward user interface, and optional, all digitalized now with this 10.25-inch 2x screen setup here. So also a very modern design. You also have enough space on the interior, and also driving wise, a very, very good result here for today. So it's actually fast enough in the acceleration, especially here with the 120 horsepower engine. If you go for the motorway, you should probably not go with the 1 liter naturally aspirated engine. Then the turbo engine is definitely better as for this usage, and really calm and sovereign on the road. Also at higher speeds, really stable, yet at the same time enough comfort. And fuel economy wise, also at a good average. So overall, a very, very solid performance. And I think the overall result is really, it is definitely now one of the best cars here in the small car segment. Here in the high trim, of course, the costs go up. So you really have to think about which extras do you really need, or would you rather go then for an entry-level version. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Leave us your comments here about the new Hyundai i20. See you in our comment section or in our next review.